serious snaps. You guys can take some serious snaps to all these just about to become or just had the way it's wild.
Love only love with all your heart. Love only love with all your soul. Listen to the wisdom inside and around you. You will remember as you're walking through the day. Make this world a better place. Will learn, and the future will be love only love with all your heart. Love only love with all your soul. Listen to your wisdom inside and around you. In just a few moments, on page 196, we'll recite the words of Mikamocha, which we're told is our redemption song as we cross from slavery in Egypt to our freedom. And I can't help but wonder if the reason why this is placed over and over again within our literature, that it's not just supposed to be a reminder for our own freedom, but just like Rabbi Eshel was talking about this morning, that it's supposed to make us think about how it is that we are responsible for the freedom of others. So the words of Mika Mocha on page 196. Oh, Mika Mocha, Vayeli Adonai. Mika Mocha, Etar HaKodesh. Oh, no,
through the service, just to make sure that everybody has a place to park it fabulous. All right, in a moment, we are about to continue with the Amidah, or the standing prayers. I have a question. Who here appreciates, maybe doesn't get enough, me time? A little bit of alone time. Who here appreciates some alone time? Some me time? Don't get enough from alone time, me time. Well, last time I had a long time, last time I had 1986, right? Well, what's really special about the section of prayers that we're about to enter is this is your alone time. This is your me time. It's your time just for you and God. Maybe you've seen, right, when we do the Amidah, that you see people take 3 steps back and then 3 steps forward before they start the prayers of the Amidah. Right? It's an idea, it's a really beautiful idea that we're taking 3 steps back, meaning we're exiting this corporeal realm that we are in, right, with all of us around it, and then Ra'ah,
which would mean that it averts the decree, averts the evil of the decree. But what it actually says is Ma'averim et Ro'a HaGezerah, that they avert the Ro'a of the Gezerah. They avert the evil of the decree. Because the decree comes to all of us, the good and the bad alike. The promise of Unetana Tokach is that if we repent, if we pray, if we do tzedakah, we will be better able to endure the decree. If we see ourselves not as the hub of the universe, but as spokes on God's wheel, if we understand that God does not exist in order to serve us, but we in order to serve God, then when the decree comes, as come it will to all of us, we will be able to endure it. Page 208 from the time book. Holiness awakens deepest awe, inspires highest praise for your dominion. For your throne is a throne of love, your reign is a reign of truth. In truth, you are judge and plaintiff, counselor and witness. You inscribe and seal. You record and recount. You remember all that we have forgotten. And when you open the book of memories, it speaks for itself. For every human hand leaves its mark, an imprint like no other. And so great shofar will cry, Tekiah. A still small voice will be heard. Angels in a whirl of fear and trembling will say, behold the day of judgment, for they too are judged. In your eyes even they are not lambs. All who come into the world pass before you like sheep before their shepherd. As a shepherd considers the flock when it passes beneath the staff, you count and consider every life. You set bounds, you decide destiny, you inscribe judgment.
Page 212, we continue with the words of the Rosh Hashanah, who will live and who will die. Page 212.
There
transcend the harshness of the decree.
Uteshuva, utefila, utsedaka, ma'aviri et roa ha'gezera.
We now continue with the Kedusha on page 218 and invite us all to please rise.
Before we continue with Avinu Malkeinu, will be on page 252, I would like to invite up all of those who will be participating in our Torah service to join us up on the bima. And for the rest of us, please rise.
for our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love. We now continue on page 254 with Seder Kriyat Torah, or Torah service.
Adonai,
מעל העם.
You may be seated. Our Torah portion for this morning can be found in your Machzorim, beginning on page 266, page 266.
Yeah, I came back.
Missed a social butterfly.
Sorry. Just so many people to say hello to. This is fabulous. They're like, don't you have something to do up there? All right, yeah, okay, I better go. Okay. So for our first aliyah, the Torah portion that we're chanting, Nitzavim, and translated as
process. Being a foster parent is hard, and it's joyful, and it makes me cry, and it makes me happy. It is all the ands and all the things, and it is infinitely worth it. So if you could be a resource to these children or to someone willing to tackle this huge, messy, loving, terrifying, and joyful process that is caring for these children, I encourage you to do so. Talia Green from Second Nurture is here. Second Nurture has partnered with Wilshire Boulevard Temple and other synagogues to promote foster care and adoption as a Jewish value by integrating concepts of foster care and adoption into Jewish communities. So Talia, I don't know if you can, she's in the back. If anybody has any questions, wants to help in any way. I mean, I had found that I was lacking in, there were a couple kids that had came into my care that were speech delayed. Talia hooked me up with a woman at Children's Hospital who's a Temple member, and to help get me training on how to handle kids with speech delay. So there's a million little ways that you can make a big, big, big impact for these children and this community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll have information as you exit. I believe we have handouts about Second Nurture, so please stop by the table and grab something and wake up tomorrow and say that you're going to make a change. We're going to continue with our Haftarah, which is found on page 277. And we're going to invite Marty Janal to chant for us the blessings before the Haftarah, which can be found just right before. But again, our Haftarah, the words of the prophet Isaiah, are found on page 277.
Melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza v'divrehem hane'emarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah ufmoshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo ובנביאי האמת והצדק, קרע וגרון אל תשוך, כשופר הרם קולך, והגד לעמי פשעם, ולבית יעקב חטאותם. אשר צדקה עשה, ומשפט אלוהיו לא עזב. ישאלוני משפטי צדק, קרבת אלוהים יחפצון. למה צמנו ולא ראית, עינינו נפשנו ולא תדע. כן ביום צומכם תמצאו חפץ, וכל עצביכם תנגושו. הן לריב ומצה תצומו, ולהכות באגרוף רשע לא תצומו כיום, להשמיע במרום קולכם. החזה יהיה צום אבחרהו יום, ענות אדם נפשו, הלכוף כהגמון ראשו, ושק ואפר יציע, הלזה תקרא צום ויום רצון לאדוני. הלא זה צום אבחרהו, פתח חרצובות רשע, הטהר אגודות מותה, ושלח רצוצים חופשיים, וכל מותה תנתקו. הלא פרוס לרעב לחמך, ועניים מרודים תביא בית, כי תראה ערום וכיסיתו, ומבשרך לא תתעלם. אז ייבקע כשחר אורך, וירוחתך מהרה תצמח, והלך לפניך צדקך, כבוד אדוני יאספך. אז תקרא, אדוני יענה, תשבע ויאמר הנני, אם תסיר מתוך המותה, שלח אצבע ודבר אבן, ותפק לרעב נפשך, ונפש נענת תשביע. וזרח בחושך אורך, ואפלתך כצהריים, ובנו ממך חרבות עולם, מוסדי דור ודור תקומם, וקורא לך גודר פרץ, משובב נתיבות לשבת, אם תשיב משבת רגלך, עשות חפצך ביום קודשי, וקראת לשבת עונג, לקדוש אדוני מכובד, וכיבדתו מעשות דרכך, ממצוא חפצך ודבר דבר, אז תתענג על אדוני, והרכבתיך על במותי הארץ, והאכלתיך נחלת יעקב אביך, כי פי אדוני דיבר. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם צור כל העולמים, צדיק בכל הדורות, האל הנאמן, האומר ועושה, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים, ועל יום הזיכרון הזה, יום הכיפורים הזה, שנתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, למחילה ולזחילה ולכפרה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל, אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד, ודברך אמת וקיים לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני, מלך מוחל וסולח לעוונותינו ולעוונות עמו בית ישראל, ומעביר אשמותינו בכל שנה ושנה. מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל. מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל. ויום הכיפורים.
Yasher Koach, a very special thank you to our Haftorah reader Marty Janal, and also a very special thank you to all of our Torah readers, Carolyn Yashari Becker. We had Jacob Milder, who's just a couple of months after his own bar mitzvah, and Claudia Chevanini, who was an incredible member of our adult B'nai Mitzvah course. So thank you very much for your beautiful reading. We're going to rise as we return the Torah to the Ark, page 290.
יהללו את שם אדוני, כי נשגב שמו לבדו. הודו על ארץ ושמיים, וירם קרן לימו. תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל עם קרובו. הללויה, hallelujah.
You may be seated.
I wish that all of you could see what all of us up here have the privilege of seeing all morning, which is a room so beautifully filled with so much spirit and so much soul and so much energy, and that comes from all of you. So thank you for making this such a beautiful, beautiful morning. There could be 30 million Jews in the world today, but there are only 13 million. Up to 20 million Jews are missing because of a broken promise. In 1917, the British Foreign Secretary, Lord Balfour, sent a letter to Lord Rothschild making a promise. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object. Had Balfour kept his word, we wouldn't have had to wait another 41 years and fight a war for Israel to be born. 6 million Jews would have had a place to go before Germany's final solution. Politicians and their promises. Remember George H.W. Bush's now campaign promise? Read my lips, no new taxes. The promise helped him win the election, but breaking it cost him re-election. On a beautiful fall day in 1993, Yasser Arafat, the president of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, stood on the White House lawn, shook Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin's hand, and promised peace, declaring in Arabic, "The difficult decision we reached together was one that required great courage. Our two peoples are awaiting today this historic hope, and they want to give peace a real chance." Arafat reneged on the deal, and a quarter century later, we are still waiting for peace because of his broken promise. But it's not just politicians. It's us, too. We live in a world and a town of broken promises. So many of us are often casual about making promises with no real intention of keeping them. They're throwaway promises. Let's do lunch. I'll call you later. Nothing earth-shattering, right? Then there are the ones that hurt a little more when they're broken. The job is yours. It's a deal. You have my word. I won't miss your game. I'll see you at your recital. When we break a promise, no matter how small it may seem, it can tear at the fabric of our relationships with our acquaintances, our colleagues, our friends, our family, the very people we claim to love the most. Any one of us who has ever been in a relationship with a partner who broke a promise knows just how much it can hurt. That's why infidelity is so painful, because it is a breaking of the most sacred promise one human being can make to another. Yes, few things hurt more than a broken promise. But if that's true, then the reverse must also be true, that few things mean more than keeping a promise. I could have died every day during my childhood, says Michael Stolowitsky, who escaped capture by the Nazis during World War II thanks to his Catholic nanny, Gertruda. When Michael's mother had a stroke and lay dying, Gertruda made her a promise. She knew my mother was about to die, said Michael. She promised that she would save me, raise me as her own son, and take me to Palestine. She kept that promise, and because of that, I am alive. After his mother died, Gertruda and Michael left Poland and traveled to Lithuania. Then the Germans occupied Lithuania. Gertruda had him baptized by a Catholic priest at age 8, and Michael served as an altar boy. She always told him, Michael, don't forget, I'm saving you. You are Jewish. And helped him remember Jewish holidays, he said. When the war ended, they made their way to France, where they boarded a luxury ship to Haifa, disguised as American tourists. We drove on to the Galilee, he said. We never came back to the ship. When the State of Israel was founded in 1948, Stolowitsky reunited with wealthy relatives. His aunt told Gertruda that they would adopt Michael and she needed to return to Poland. This is a Jewish state, his aunt told Gertruda. Upon hearing these cold words spoken to Gertruda, Michael, then 12, decided to live in a one-bedroom apartment in Jaffa with Gertruda. She cleaned houses, and I turned my back on my family and money, he said. To me, she's a saint. She gave me life. If not for her and the promise she kept to my mother, I wouldn't be here. Most of us will never make a promise like Gertruda. But today we make an awful lot of promises to ourselves and to God. So here's a little advice for us all. You'll often hear a traditional Jew say 2 Hebrew words before committing to virtually anything. Bli neder, which means it's not a promise. It seems like such an odd thing to say before actually making a commitment. Excuse me, I know I'm telling you that I'm going to do something, but I just want you to know I'm not promising to do it. Bli neder is really an acknowledgement of the power of a promise, and that a real, true promise is not something one should make lightly, without intention. In other words, don't make a promise you don't intend to keep. You know what I hate? I hate the gym in January. It's overcrowded with all of the people who have made New Year's resolutions to exercise more. But by February, it's back to normal, as the resolutions to get fit go the way of so many other good intentions. Abandoned. But imagine a world in which people actually did keep their promises. A world built on trust rather than skepticism. A world without rogue nuclear tests and broken peace treaties. A world filled with deeper, richer relationships, like Mary and Ben's. They met in the 2nd grade, and he always, no matter what, took care of her. Mary Lapkowitz had Down syndrome. Ben Musser did not. They were inseparable at their Pennsylvania elementary school, and if Mary wasn't being included in an activity or was on the outside looking in, Ben included her. Their teacher, Tracy Spogli, remembers it to this day. If she was looking like she wasn't having fun, he would go over and talk to her. He just always watched over her, Spogli said. In the 4th grade, Ben made Mary a promise. When they were in high school, he would take her to the prom. I thought Mary was really cool, Ben said of their grade school days. She was sweet and easy to get along with. Mary thought much the same of him. They went to different and rival high schools. He became a quarterback. She helped her dad, who was her school's equipment manager. When they were both 17, Ben kept his promise and asked Mary to the prom. She was a vision in purple. He wore a complimenting purple vest. As they posed for photos with their parents, the pair smiled arm in arm. Mary had a wrist corsage of white roses, and Ben had a matching boutonniere. Neither thought their pairing was out of the ordinary. A friend is a friend, after all, and a promise is a promise. Over and over again on Yom Kippur, we recite Ashamnu, confessing 24 of our failings. 24 times we beat our chests and say to ourselves, I will be a little more honest, a little kinder, less stubborn. I will be less arrogant, more humble. I will be less neglectful, more attentive. 24 promises we make to ourselves and to God sitting here today. There's an old story about the famous Hasidic master, the Baal Shem Tov. As Yom Kippur approached, he stood outside the synagogue with the doors locked. The time for the service approached, and a crowd gathered on the steps. Everyone was anxious to get to their seats and begin. But the Baal Shem Tov refused to unlock the doors. Soon there were hundreds of people pressed up against one another outside the doors of the synagogue. Rabbi, one of them finally shouted, Rabbi, why won't you open the doors? I can't let any of you in, replied the Baal Shem Tov in distress. There's no room left in the sanctuary. No room left in the sanctuary, the man said, challenging the rabbi. That's impossible. Every member of the congregation is standing here outside. How could the sanctuary possibly be full? It's full, all right, replied the Baal Shem Tov. Full of your prayers. Full of all the promises, all the lofty intentions, all the silent vows you left behind the last time you were here. Not one of you took them with you when you left this holy place. This Yom Kippur, let's not leave this room full of all the prayers and promises we uttered but left behind. Let's take them with us out of this holy place. Let's take them to our families, our friends, our coworkers, even to the strangers we meet. Let's take them into this new year so that next year, this empty. To sit together again and look back on the promises we made, took with us, and kept today.
now continue together on page 296. Vidui, our confessions. I now invite us all to please rise.
Ay, 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 Ashamnu,
Ashamnu,
Bagadnu,
Magadnu,
Gazalnu,
Gazalnu,
Diparnu Dolfi.
Dimarnu Dofi.
Ay, 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 Evinu,
Evinu,
Vehirshanu,
Vehishanu,
Zanu,
Zanu,
Hamasnu,
Hamasnu,
Tafanu Sheker.
Tafanu Sheker.
Ay, 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 Yahatsnura,
Yatsnura,
Kizavnu,
Kizavnu,
Latsnu,
Latsnu,
Maranu,
Maranu,
Niyatsnu,
Yatsnu,
Sararnu,
Saranu,
Avinu,
Avinu,
Pashanu,
Pashanu,
Sararnu,
Saranu,
Kishinu Oref.
Ishinu Oref.
Ay, 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 Rashanu,
Rashanu,
Shichanu,
Shichanu,
Tiavnu,
Tiavnu,
Ta'idu,
Tainu,
Titanu.
Titanu,
Ay, 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 ay,
Let's continue now at the top of page 300.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך באונס ורצון, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך ביודעים ובלא יודעים.
Together. The ways we have wronged you under duress and by choice, and harm we have caused in your world consciously and unconsciously.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בבלי דעת, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בריצת רגליים להרע.
The ways we have wronged you through our thoughtlessness, and harm we have caused you in your world through impulsive acts of malice.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בחוזק יד, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בזלזול הורים ומורים.
The ways
ועל כולם אלוהים סליחות, סלח לנו מחלנו, כפר לנו. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך ביצר הרע, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך
bekashut oref.
The ways we have wronged you by giving in to our hostile impulses, and harm we have caused in your world through inflexibility and stubbornness.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha bechachash ubechazav, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha bekalut rosh.
The ways we have wronged you through lies and deceit, and harm we have caused your world by making light of serious matters.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha besiach siftotenu, ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha betzarut ayin.
The ways we have wronged you in our routine conversations, and harm we have caused in your world through envy.
Ve'al kulam Eloha selichot, selach lanu mechalanu kapelanu. Ve'al kulam Eloha selichot, selach lanu mechalanu, selach lanu mechalanu kapelanu. You may be seated.
We now continue on page 316.
Shema Koleinu, hear our call, and may we hear yours in our apologies and confessions, in the meditations of our heart, and in the accountings of our soul. Hear our call, our voice, as we may hear yours, in words of counsel and consolation, in the silence of one who listens, in the strength of a hand that upholds. Hear our call, Adonai Eloheinu, as we strive to hear yours on this day of the heart, this day of our repair and our healing. Page 316. השיבנו אליך ונשובה, חדש ימינו, ימינו כקדם. Ah
Shana Tova, everyone. Before we finish up, just a few brief announcements, I promise. Following our service, there's going to be comfortable seating on the first floor patio and the second floor for those who are planning to stay all day. After services conclude, our later afternoon services, please join us at 6:15 for a Break the Fast in the Browerman Play Yard with all of your clergy. We want to give a special thanks to all of our security, our administrative, maintenance, facility staff. They work so hard over the year, but especially during this time to make sure that everyone is safe and comfortable with the goal of helping all of us have a very meaningful High Holy Day season. We cannot thank them enough for their dedication to our special congregation. Today, during the break, between service, we're going to be offering a number of programs at 2 p.m. At 2 p.m., there will be a Q&A clergy panel in the sanctuary. Any and all questions you've ever wanted to ask one of your clergy people. Well, maybe not every question you've wanted to ask, but any question you wanted to ask, we're going to be in the main sanctuary, an opportunity for discussion. Also at 2 p.m., in Stalford Hall, an amazing documentary called Keep Quiet about a white supremacist leader in Hungary, right, one of the top white supremacist leaders, finds out he's Jewish and having to deal with all of that. It's a true story documentary. Also, we have in Midas, on the second floor, 202, open. The Ark will be open. There will be an Ark there open for people for meditation. Actually, that'll be the meditation room. And in Factor Chapel, the Ark will be open for your own private meditation. Then later, parents and children for children under 5 can live stream in Midas Hall the 4 p.m. Yom Kippur Yizkor service. I'm going to let Cantor Peacock again introduce the band. Thank you so much.
Just wanted to say a special thank you to our musicians, Adam Yaron on piano, Jenny Asher violin, Sam Webster percussion, Lily Eichhut on 10 different instruments, Avi Vialo on trumpet, and Jason Meshes on guitar. Thank you guys for just uplifting our prayers. And I also just wanted to take a moment to thank you as the congregation. You would just see in like your little bulletin something called Koleinu, this little experiment that we had dreamed up. But seeing all of you here today and being witness to the holy community that we were able to create together this High Holy Day season has just been really humbling. And so thank you all for being here.
So special. Thank you very much, everyone. And with that,
We return,
We return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again. We return,
we return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again and again to love, to love.
return, we return, we return, return again. We return, we return, we return, return again and again to love, to love, to love. We return again to love. We return, we return, we return, we return, we return, return again. We return, we return, we return, we return, we return, return.